Oh, how interesting. A Russian-developed episodic adventure game about robots taking over the world. Huh. Why not check it out?
Robots, yo. Robots, pop songs, everything drop, yo. Robots, pop songs, everything stop, yo. Robots, pop songs, robots, pop songs, robots, pop songs, everybody high.
So the game begins with a delightful little exposition dump all over our gooey little brains. Essentially, it's the future, and this game is more or less ripping off the plot of Peace on Earth, the classic MGM cartoon where humanity has managed to make itself extinct by endless wars and just general human jackassery. But instead of cute fuzzy little animals with too big of eyes inheriting the Earth, it's the robots. But anywho, the exposition dump ends on a dire warning, or what at least seems to be a dire warning, because it states that the robots are getting smarter and beginning to act more human. And considering what happened to the humans just a paragraph before, I don't think that bodes well for the robots. But it does beg the question, who's going to take over the Earth after the robots? Personally, I'm rooting for pixelated men who make YouTube videos. Anywho, let's get to some soft piano music and hear a protagonist speak for the first time.
I am a robot, model RT217NP, primary mission unknown.
Well, this may be a rare example of emotionless voice acting actually being an asset.
I am not designed for physical exercise. I am certainly not capable of construction activity, but I am very skillful with electronics.
So basically he's some kind of robo nerd, or something like that. Either way, he's a robot who's isolated from other robots and lives in the middle of nowhere and repairs things. Or maybe he's just a robo prepper. I guess that does make sense. After all, we are living in a post-apocalyptic world. Nevertheless, though, our hero goes on to tell us that, hey, robots are awesome. They've built the perfect society. So clearly the plot of this game is going to revolve around finding some egregious flaw with Robo society and probably bringing it to its knees through our reluctant hero here, who just so happens to have a nice house.
I only brought one battery this time, though it might be compatible with the radio. I need to find a second battery. It was with my tools.
So we go from contemplating on the nature of our existence to suddenly needing to fix a radio, just pulled out of the blue, like this is some sort of bizarre tutorial section.
And this heroic feat will remain in our hearts forever. Don't let the fallen give their lives in vain. Join the army, protect your homeland, save your freedom, traditions, and...
A small group of people controlled the masses using such words. I do not understand how a simple human speech could have urged people to participate in war. It would be more logical to reach a compromise by means of negotiations.
Oh, what seething social commentary, game. I think I burned myself on that hot take. But after figuring out humans were stupid and aggressive, let's go ahead and check our email to engage in some capitalism. Because as we all know, despite humanity being extinct and this being a post-apocalyptic world, the free market will survive. It's inevitable, folks. Give in to your exploitation.
RT, this is TX27. It was difficult to find your contact information. You were supposed to have finished the plasma cutter 2 days ago. Why have we not received it yet?
Oh look, like every game that's episodic and adventure related, it's gonna have some dialogue choices. Hopefully this will have some meaningful impact on my narrative. But for our immediate future, the only impact this selection is gonna have is gonna be that I'm gonna have to play some minigame to assemble the plasma cutter for this robot guy, so he won't be mad at us.
Good, the cutter is now complete. Tomorrow morning, I need to go to the city and deliver it. I do not need the battery that they offer in payment, but it would be irrational to refuse.
Alright, Mr. Spock, let's go to bed, and actually I'm kind of excited about seeing this robot society. It sounds really intriguing, and I hope I can immerse myself and engage in it, and not suddenly have, well, say a spaceship fall out of nowhere, and completely change our lives before I fully understand this world.
What happened?
Well, a spaceship appears to have crash-landed in your backyard. I guess we might as well explore it. we find another robot in here that we need to fix by conveniently finding a battery. And sure enough, he gives us some adventuring to do.
Help them. 7, 4, 0.
The pilot is no longer functioning. What did he say? Who should I help? And what are these numbers? Is it a code?
And to be honest with you guys, so far I'm kind of digging this game. Sure, its narrative's a bit scattered shot right now, but it's an actual episodic adventure game that has genuine puzzles in it that require you to think and do some puzzle solving. It's remarkable.
I think this door is now unlocked. How is this possible?
Well, we appear to have some dead honkies back here in the spaceship. It's pretty damn remarkable that we go from, hey, humans are extinct to, oh, wait a minute, there's probably a few left. I mean, this game's only 20 minutes old now, and its world's being completely turned asunder. Oh, it's the Robo Popo. I guess we shouldn't worry too much. After all, we are a white robot.
You discovered humans that have been transferred in this shuttle. You hold classified information, which means that now we have to disintegrate you.
Well, it appears to be that our hero is in an inescapable situation. Surely no asshole will just fall out of the sky.
What is this?
I guess it's some sort of EMP grenade. Oh well, good enough. Our heroes saved. The Robo Popo, I guess, are all dead now? I really do wonder, though. Why do robots need police? And also, the fact that all the robot police died, you'd think that would garner some suspicion from the Robo authorities, if there are any. I mean, how does the society function at all? I have no idea. So we now enter what appears to be Robo Saw.
Hello. I'd like to play a game with you.
Yeah, well, I guess not. Although, come on, Robot Man. How much of a pathetic weakling are ya? Now, I get it, you're not supposed to be some big, strong construction bot. But seriously, I would think your hydraulics would be able to overcome that rusty, dilapidated-looking stretcher. But oh well. Before we can free ourselves, a wild voice appears.
I would not recommend you do that.
Well, our robot buddy may need his visual sensors updated, because how the hell did he not notice that guy hanging out in the corner of the room?
I would not recommend you do that. Stay still and do not try to escape, or I will have to disintegrate you.
Small wonder our hero here is a loner. After all, robots appear to be assholes. I mean, just think about it. So far, every robot we've met has tried to kill us or was dying. But anywho, as you expect from anything that ties you down and keeps you in a creepy abandoned hospital, this robot is actually our buddy, and he's the head of some sort of resistance organization against the Robo Man, and he's going to fill us in on all the nitty-gritty details about what's really going on in this society that we know really nothing about.
Humankind is officially considered extinct. You just found out that is not true. USS Robotics withholds this information from us and releases malicious automatic updates. Every robot who contacted a human has disappeared. We know that USS uses police to search for surviving humans and then transfers them in shuttles to an undisclosed location.
Alright, so everything we know is a lie. Humans are alive. There's an evil corporation that still exists because, yeah, robot society isn't really perfect at all. In fact, it seems like a pretty standard dystopian futuristic human society, but with people who speak all robotic and monotone. Hey, what can I say? It's creative at least. But as you would expect, our hero is now going to have to join the revolution. Or as he puts it,
You gave me no choice. A negative answer will result in my immediate disintegration, which is unacceptable. I am forced to join you.
hey, he's got a point there, and I probably shouldn't refer to this robot as a he. After all, it's a robot. It doesn't have a gender. Anywho, we're now let loose in this creepy abandoned hospital to just basically do fetch quests for the other robots in the resistance. It's a pretty small resistance of only 4 robots, and one of them's in a wheelchair. That's just hilarious. He's a robot. Can they not give him legs? Or did they really need to have the Stephen Hawking type robot to really stress the fact that, yeah, that dude's a nerdy egghead? You know, this game actually features a kind of funny example of, gender norms, gender stereotyping. Because you see, there's a nurse robot, and she's got, a shapely figure. But the doctor robot, he looks like a dude. It's just kind of funny, that's all. And what's also funny is that to get out of this section of the game, we more or less have to repair the robot's internet. Yeah, so we just plug and unplug the router, then go back upstairs and talk to Stephen Hawking bot.
I see an active connection, but it took more time than I expected. Did something go wrong?
Yes, I need to replace a few details, but it is all right now.
Good. The communication issue is solved then. Abigail and I fixed a portable intercom for you, and I set a protected connection on it. Take it. You will need it on your first assignment.
Okay. What will it be?
Gregory will let you into details now.
You know, this game has somewhat of a questionable English translation, but it's actually not that noticeable because, it's going to have robots. So take that as a bit of advice, you future Russian developers. Make your game about robots. That way you can get away with some strange English choices. But nevertheless, all the robots reconvene in the doctor's office, and the doctor's like, yo, I got a plan. We have this one other robot. He's gone silent. You recent robot that we coerced into joining the resistance, figure out what happened to him. The rest of us are going to hang out here and make the hospital more awesome so humans can live here. And yeah, that's pretty much what we do. We finally get to go to the Robo City. Oh my god, I'm so excited. What the hell is it gonna look like? Oh, robots, you disappoint me, guys. I was expecting something like this. A real Robo Metropolis. But what do I get? Basically Blade Runner, but with the replicants as the cast. Well, unfortunately for us, the game doesn't have that soundtrack. But hey, at least we get to do a little bit of B&E and break into an apartment. Although, I have to wonder, why does a robot need an apartment? Why do robots have any sense of the need for privacy at all? They're robots. You'd think they wouldn't care about that. Well, I guess this game is all about how robots are acting more human, but at the same time, they don't really seem to be acting much like robots. In fact, they appear to just be reskinned, monotone humans going about in some sort of corporate dystopian world, where real humans are hunted down. But anyway, the police in this universe are incredibly incompetent and don't bother to check the email of the guy who they're investigating, or something like that. I'm not really sure of the particulars. But either way, he had a computer full of information, the robot guy that's missing, and the police don't seem to know about it. So of course we read it and delete it, and then we figure out that there's some safe hidden in his house that contains some vital documents that's going to take us to our next location. Or as Robo Boy puts it,
As I expected, there's no data disk inside, but it seems that I found the key that is referred to in the letter. I have to take a risk and go to a bar called The Core, where I will probably find something of use.
I guess this guy kind of has like Google Maps in his head, so he searched for places called The Core nearby and found out that it was a bar, because otherwise I really want to know how the hell he even knows about this bar existing. But then again, robot logic, who am I to question?
Why are the windows nailed down in this building?
Good point, Robo buddy, but more importantly, why does this building still have power? It seems terribly inefficient and irrational to be pumping power to abandoned buildings. But then again, a greedy corporation runs this world, so perhaps they do that to fluff up quarterly profits.
There is no one here. The lighting is functioning, although the building looks long abandoned. It is weird.
Well, hey, at least there's one advantage to having all the lights on. The jukebox still works.
Well, a sheep or a
But unfortunately, like any good party, it must come to an end because we discover some secret doorway that leads to an underground bunker that appears to store humans.
It is a weird place. It does not look abandoned to me. Someone was here recently. Were they humans?
That is a fair point to make. After all the robots we've seen up till now behave rather human. It's almost like human minds are being uploaded into robot bodies. Ooh, now that would be an interesting plot, but, well, I don't know yet. This is only episode 1. Who knows where the story's going to go? Well, actually I do know, because we're rudely interrupted by another robot while we're snooping around.
F2, I could not contact you, and I moved everyone to another place. Who are you? What are you doing here?
So the robot heard some shuffling downstairs in the secret location and instantly thought it was his robot buddy. My god, if we were the police, we would have totally had to drop on this guy. This resistance organization really needs to download some Mao. Anyway, we convince him rather easily that we're a member of the resistance. I guess robots can't lie? I don't know. I don't know what the rules are in this universe. How do robots work? Are there any laws? Or are they just monotone people in robotic shells? But either way, we're going to take him back to the secret base because, well, we're just going to blindly trust him. My god. Well, what can I say? They're robots. They don't know any better.
How many are in your group?
7 humans, 5 adults, and 2 children.
Where are they now?
They are in a shelter in the city. We move constantly to avoid detection. USS found our other 2 shelters. But thanks to F2, we escaped before the police arrived.
Do you know anything about other groups of humans?
We know that there are several isolated groups. We need to contact them. Otherwise, they will be tracked down sooner or later. I saw a police officer seizing a human in a supermarket today. Fortunately, I could not interfere and save him. He should bring his group in an appointed place this evening. We have to act secretly, because there are just a few robots who know the truth, and they are all wanted by the police.
We must ensure their security. It is hard to hide a group of humans and supply it with whatever is required.
I like how he says that like it's almost a question. Yeah, whatever is required. Food, water, I don't know, we'll wing it. But anyway, we're now going to have to go out and find a spot to store all the humans that we're suddenly going to acquire, thanks to that robot guy we just randomly met in the basement. So, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Ooh, we get a fun little vehicle sequence. But anyway, you're probably wondering, why are we doing this? Well, you see, we're driving to random radar jammers that are hidden throughout the woods that we need to shut off so we can scan the woods to find an ideal location to store all those humans. Because we know there's some secret cool bunker hidden around here that the police don't know about. Oh no, we're under attack and the camera's not a friend here because we can't see what's ahead of us, so I kind of have to avoid things a little bit on instinct. It's not too bad, and we eventually end up seeing this thing destroy itself. Not a very smart security bot, and surely that information would be sent to, I don't know, the police, that the security bot's been activated and that it's been destroyed, thus allowing the police to be able to figure out where we are, but no, that doesn't happen. Because, you see, the robots don't appear to have any advanced communication at all. Hell, when we turn off the radar jammer, they don't seem to know it's off. It's incredible.
Now that this device is deactivated, all that is left to do is to find and deactivate the second one.
As you'd expect, rinse and repeat, drive around, then a security bot comes after you, then it destroys itself, and then, well, you're in Firewatch. Except there's a generator here to turn off.
RT, do you copy?
Nick, I can hear you. After I disabled the second jammer, the communication has been reestablished.
That is great. You were silent for a long time. Is everything all right?
Yes, it is. Despite the guide drones who tried to destroy me, their lack of mobility can probably be explained by old-fashioned technology.
We didn't know about any security drones. Be careful.
Can we locate the lab now?
Yes, we can locate any electronics within 10 kilometers. I can see your own signal, the aero car, 2 jammers. Got it. A huge object to the northwest from you must be the lab. I am forwarding you the coordinates. Find a way to get inside.
Alright, game, let's do that. Let's go to a secret base, lab, bunker, vault, whatever you want to call it. It's the future hope for all of humanity, apparently. So yeah, now we're in a big old base that we gotta run around in and solve some puzzles, turn on some power, unlock some doors. It's not exactly a thrilling video, but it's fun to play. But anyway, after a bunch of puzzle solving and figuring out that some toxic gas was released in this lab, which is why everyone had to leave, we discover the mainframe computer, which we gotta turn on and have a nice little chat with.
Employee identification is confirmed. Security system console is unlocked.
Who are you?
I am Ivy, interactive virtual interface. I connect the staff with lab systems, as well as take care of the research process safety.
What kind of research has been conducted in this lab?
I am sorry, you are not authorized to access this information.
Well, that's just lame, and it also turns out that the AI is not really all that helpful. She doesn't know much about humans or why they're extinct, but she does tell us how to get the base up and running again so that humans can move in, which we do.
Air recirculation system is operational. Expected filtering time, 1 hour, 12 minutes.
I must head off to the meeting point as soon as possible.
Alright, we've done a lot today. Oh my goodness, that guy, the construction robot, he's never going to get his plasma torch, is he? Hopefully that won't be a lingering plot thread that comes back later to haunt us. But hey, this has been a productive first chapter, hasn't it? Surely there'll be no cliffhanger ending to entice us to stay for chapter 2.
RT, do not return to the hospital. I repeat, do not return to the hospital. We are urgently evacuating. Several police aero cars are approaching us right now. We managed to hijack a shuttle, and Fletcher used it to pick up humans from the city depot. Go there and warn them. Somehow the police found out about our plans. I will contact you later.
Huh, I wonder if that random robot we picked up had something to do with that. Oh well, it doesn't matter, because what does matter is that we've reached the climactic cliffhanger ending to chapter 1. Yeah, the Robo Popo appear to have gone to the Imperial Stormtrooper Marksmanship Academy, or this lady's just freakishly fast. You gotta love how nonchalant our hero is. Oh, there's a human running in an open field, a bunch of Robo Popo shooting at her. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and casually stroll out of this big old pipe. Alrighty, Roo, so that's it, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody in between. That is it for this game. At least the first chapter. I, for one, am intrigued by it. Now, I kind of wonder what's going on with these robots, because a part of me thinks that maybe the robots rose up against the humans, killed all the humans, and then they did some update that made the robots forget about the fact that they killed all the humans, and instead making them believe that they're extinct. But the robots didn't kill the humans because there's still obviously humans running around. But there's also another part of me that thinks that maybe the robots are actually humans that have been stolen by this corporation and then turned into robots in some weird sort of... I'm sure some science fiction has done something like this before, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But nevertheless, I like this game. It's an actual adventure game that happens to be episodic. There are real-life puzzles in this game that need to be solved, that require you to think. And for the most part, the production values are pretty good. It's a nice-looking game. I didn't really run into too many bugs. And yeah, sure, it's kind of a bit wonky with the English, but it works because they're robots, so it doesn't seem all that egregious. So yeah, I give it a thumbs up. Pick it up if you're interested. And if not, that's fine. But either way, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody in between, this video's over. Goodbye.